So I was watching a post-fight interview with Valentina Shevchenko that took place not long after she had buried another delusional fool. Honestly, the performance was nothing short of artwork. Anyway, during the press conference, Bullet revealed that she'd recently finished wrapping up an MMA movie with Halle Berry, which in my eyes is a combination that has the potential to make Pornhub redundant. I am of course being satirical, that website will be around for longer than time itself. 4 years after getting baptized in the octagon, MMA fighter Jackie Justice, played by Berry, gets inspired to embark on a comeback when the son she abandoned during his infant days returns to the scene because daddy was wise enough to get shot. Bruised falls under the genre of sports drama, and after my initial read of the premise I was concerned that the ratio would be hideously imbalanced in favour of the latter. Sadly and predictably, I was correct. There's so much more fucking drama than sport. Yes, the purpose of the drama is to make you give more of a shit about the action's outcome, but in this case it completely desensitized me of caring. The screenplay made the same mistake as No Time to Die and went way too fucking hard on the kid narrative. Not too many seconds pass without you being reminded that he's the foundation of Jackie's motivation, which in turn overshadows the reason anyone would watch a movie that Dana White has personally endorsed like it's an immortal supply of Howler-Head Avec branded sippy cup as well as Steven Espinosa's freshly mutilated corpse. The movie weighed in at 138 minutes, in my mind that's several divisions above what it should have been. I believe strongly that it could have taken at least a half-hour cut and no fluidity of any kind would be disrupted. As you may have guessed, none of this bloated runtime was dedicated to the theme that the film was built upon. Under 9 minutes of actual fighting was shown to us. Any action outside of that was poorly choreographed sparring that was on screen for even less than the modest amount of seconds committed to MMA competition. Speaking of, the fact that I was frequently checking the progress bar when the movie wasn't even a third of the way through made me theorize that the showdown between Jackie Justice and Lady Killer, portrayed by the aforementioned Valentina Shevchenko, wasn't going to be worth the wait. Once again, sadly and predictably, I was correct. Halle Berry, who also directed the movie, puts on an awesome performance as far as acting is concerned, but the same cannot be said for when she is inside the octagon. Don't get me wrong, she's clearly passionate about the sport and blatantly trained hard for the role. However, the match, which mercifully didn't get interrupted by the drama too much, wasn't the spectacle it was hyped up to be. Controversially, I don't think that Shevchenko was a good casting decision. Anyone who is familiar with Bullet's work would find her performance frustrating, as she is clearly playing to the standard of her co-star. Understandably so, because if they were to brawl for realsies, it would make that Masvidal-Askren fight look like a marathonic slugfest. In the unlikely event that someone whose taste doesn't enjoy MMA decides to press the play button, almost certainly wouldn't be able to pick up on this, but I myself unapproved of seeing my favourite female fighter more restricted than Nate Diaz's vocabulary. That one didn't sit right with me, man. I actually think he's a dude. I did have it 2-2 going into the 5th though. So if you're after a 2 hour and 18-minute dogfight connected by minimal storyline, then Bruised isn't for you. I can guarantee it will disappoint fight fans. It certainly disappointed this fight fan despite the adorable UFC Easter eggs that dwell within. A movie based on martial arts with a hefty duration yet so little violence is not cagey enough for me. Get it? Cagey. Because they compete in fuck you, I'm funny. Regardless, it could have so easily replaced many unnecessary scenes with bouts by ways of the undercard to the Justice Killer confrontation. Alas, the feature took influence from Godzilla vs. Kong and included only a picogram's worth of the reason you'd give this a go. Also, I don't know what's more shocking. Netflix paying $20 million to distribute this bag of sloth bollocks, or that the UFC spread its logo all over Bruised like it's R. Kelly's name on a sex offenders list.